Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. For those who don't know, this is the Muslim greeting of saying, Peace be upon you and God's blessings and His mercy. So, how do you go about buying a property like a pro in the Dubai market? If you're ready to buy your dream property in Dubai but don't know where to start, in this video, I'm going to break down and give you a little bit of a journey on how you might go step by step, confidently making an investment in the Dubai market without headaches, without hidden surprises. If you like the content and it makes sense and you'd like it to be spread around the globe to 1 billion people and more, then hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. It does something to the algorithm, and then YouTube shows it to more people who might find it relevant. If you're on Spotify listening, then spread it around, share it with your friends. They might find it also useful, okay? Look, if you're coming into the Dubai real estate market and there's 200 plus nationalities who've invested here, I'm going to give you 3 areas on how you might be able to achieve your dream in Dubai real estate. These 3 areas, if you focus on them or if you get these areas correct, you kind of placing the right foundation to go forward in the right way, okay? So there's 3 parts, okay? One is I'm going to ask you to understand yourself, then the property, then navigating the process to closing. So let's start with understanding your own budget and options. One of the first things that I suggest that you should be doing, whether it's a property that you're buying as an investment, or it's a property that you're coming into the market to purchase as a home for yourself, ideally speaking, what you should be doing is sitting down with your friends and family or yourself and doing a self-consultation. Because this is what we do, right? If you come into the market looking to purchase a property, we will ask you a lot of questions. Now, I think somewhere on our website we sell a template as well that you can download to do a consultation. But the idea is, if you're buying a property for an investment, you want to understand and start making a plan, as in, I'll give you some examples. How long do you want to, let's say it's an investment. What is your ultimate objective from this investment? Ultimate objective. Do you want to create a lot of wealth? Do you want to just park some money somewhere safely and not have it lose value due to inflation? Do you want it, do you want to double it, triple it, so on and so forth? Do you want to just generate good rental income? Do you want to flip the properties? Do you want exposure in the Dubai real estate market? Do you want to just enter because all of your friends are entering? Then I want to then consider how long you want to hold the property for. Do you want to sell it after 2, 3 years, 5 years? Some people just want to hold the property for forever, right? Because that's their family background or that's their thinking background, right? Especially if you're from some special countries where properties bought or just held forever. Actually, no, I wouldn't call it special countries because I find people are different from different countries. Some people, for them, real estate is an asset that's never to be sold. Like if you sell the real estate asset for them, it might be a source of shame in the family. So they just hold it forever. For others, it's just a source of doing business, investing and selling, and that's fine, right? So how long you want to hold it? And if you want to rent it out, who do you want as a tenant? You know, do you want bachelors, single people? Do you want families renting it? There are special things around, like families, if they rent it, they'll stay longer. If you buy a 2 or 3 bedroom, right? So you'll have less vacancy periods. But don't get into the nitty-gritty right now. Just try to assess and understand what kind of location do you want to invest in. You know, even if you're investing, there's some people who are very, let's say they're very disattached, unattached, they're non-emotional. They might like to live in a certain area, but they're not very mindful, or they do not give too much attention to where the property is bought, as long as it's decent and turns out rent, right? They might themselves live in a good area, which is prime, but they might want to buy in a less prime area. It happens, not all the time, because a lot of times people's personal preferences come into their investments. So what kind of location do you want? And then in Dubai, you could buy ready or off plan. What kind of kitchen, bedrooms do you want? And if you're buying off plan already, then you can, figure out when you want it, hand it over, how much money you have to allocate to the investment. This self-consultation, as long or as short as it may be, then constitutes a plan for you. Now, that plan could be 1 page long, couple of pointers, 2 pages long. Definitely, if you work with us, we'll give you a plan that's not too long, not too short, but covers a lot of things. What kind of properties you want to get into? Do you want to resell the property? All of this is understanding your budget and options. Now, actually, budget is a non-attractive way of saying it, right? It's understanding yourself and then trying to figure out options. You've not figured out the options yet, but it's the better you understand yourself, the better the plan's going to be, the better you're going to be able to go into the market to execute into the second step. The second step is to find the right property in the right location by the right builder/developer with the right quality, with the right amenities, with the right infrastructure, with the right potential for capital appreciation or the right rental income. Okay, so the right property, the right location, the right developer or builder, right quality, right amenities, right infrastructure. Now, when I say right, notice that I didn't say the best, because it's all right relative to your budget. I said how much you're going to spend and relative to what you want to do, right? And it's all right relative to where you want to live. Like, for instance, for some people, most of the world, let's say about 3 billion, 4 billion people would have heard of Burj Khalifa. It's in downtown because you see the New Year's fireworks from there as well. But if I ask you, hey, where's the best property best place to own a property, you might say, oh yeah, downtown is best. Maybe it's not best for you because perhaps your children's schooling or your work is absolutely nowhere close by. So for you to live in downtown might not be worth it. Perhaps you've got a few pets that need to run around in an open garden space. And downtown has a space, but perhaps you need more space, garden, parks, dog parks, right? I think downtown might have some dog parks as well, but they're going to be smaller. Perhaps you need the dogs to run wild, right? Have fun. Or your pets, like I don't know what pets you have. So then that downtown might not be the right location for you. So remember, I'm saying right property. Where do you work? What kind of neighborhood community do you want? Do you want a community neighborhood that's very well gelled together, that everybody knows the neighbors? Perhaps you've got some requirements to live closer to a religious place, a mosque perhaps, right? So these things are the second stage that you've got to start interacting with from the market. Hopefully you have an expert help you, but based on your plan, right? Based on your plan. In your plan, you might also have things such as you want floor-to-ceiling windows. I still remember this one person. Bless him, my client from Kenya. I spoke to him in 2017 or 16, and I still remember this one thing he said. He said, Fahd, I like floor-to-ceiling windows, and the moment I come into the house, I want fresh light coming in, and I want openness. Some people like that. Like they want to enter an apartment or a house or a villa, and they want an open view to everything. There's good, bad, and disadvantages to that, and disadvantages and advantages to that. The advantages, obviously, you open the door, you feel very open and welcome. The other situation, the other scenario is you open the door and you feel it could lead to less privacy sometimes, especially in the United Arab Emirates. For some people, when the door opens, they don't want access to the person, whoever's coming in, to have access to the full house. Personally, I'm like that. In some ways, I'm like that. But, I've lived in houses which are completely open as well. You open the door and everything's in front. So I remember he ended up getting a property that was just like that 5 years later. So the second part is to get the right property, the right location, the right developer, the right quality. Okay. The last but not the least, and by the way, guys, if you worked with us, we would go through maybe a 27-point checklist to help you find the right property, right? Now, guys, when you are, so I've got 2 points down for you, right? So understanding your requirements, your financial requirements and your budget and so on and so forth, and what options you might want to look at. And then second was like the right property and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to explain something to you guys. When you establish your requirements, and let's say you've established a budget of 10 million dirhams for a villa or a house, my solid, important suggestion to you is always going to be to go a little bit above the budget and a little bit below the budget. Why? And a lot of people end up doing that. So I would suggest don't be too strict with yourself. If 10 million was established, go up all the way to 5 million and go up 15 million and go all the way down to 7 million. Why do I say that? Sometimes you might have established a 10 million dirham budget or dollar budget. You'll end up finding a house that's great at $9 million. Great. Happy for you. You might end up finding the best house at $12 million or the best investment for $12 million. The idea is for you to be able to assess what range you're getting the best value in. So when you go in the market, don't be too clampy a shell, okay? Also, when you go into the market looking for properties, try to find a few expert advisors or agents and become friends with them. Obviously, part of it is to actually understand understand their personalities, get along with them. Like I can tell you, in the Dubai market, you get all kinds of agents: the good, the bad, the amazing. Try to work with good agents who are there to actually willing to help you, right? And then you can start looking for the right property, the right location, the right developer, the right quality. And one of the things I want to mention is, when I say right, you're trying to, in the right concept, you're trying to get the best property for the money that you have. So let's say, get the best property for the money that you have. And let me try to explain something. Let me give you a real story about this, okay? When I say the best property in the money that you have. So let's say you've got like a budget of a certain investment amount, right? The idea is going to be that this budget, let's say it allows you to get properties in a certain area, A, B, C, okay? But C is kind of like going a bit over the top for you, and A and B matches your budget. What we're going to try and do is, if C is the best location, better than A and B, we're going to try and find you a best potential property in your budget in area C, because the location's better. Or if a property has very high quality in area B, but it's going a little bit over your budget, we're going to try and find you a property that's as close to that property in terms of quality within your budget. So we try to get you to punch above your weight, right? Think of it as, let me give you a real world example out of this, okay? Imagine if you are going training, okay? And today you've decided in the morning, you're going to wake up, put on your shoes, your jogging tracks, pants, or whatever you're going to wear to jog, and you're going to go out to cover, let's say you're preparing for a marathon, and today you're going to do about 10 kilometers. But, next week you're going to start doing, I don't know how marathon training works, but, let's say from tomorrow you're going to do 12 and then 15 and then go all the way up to 40 plus kilometers. Today you're doing 8 or 9 kilometers and you feel like, today you could push to 12. That's what you're going to be doing when you're trying to find the right property, the right location, the right developer, right? Try a little bit harder. Don't try the impossible. Like, don't go into the market and somebody's asking for $10 million and you want to buy it for $7 million or $6 million. Like, wish and dream, but, don't push people's buttons. Like, don't annoy people. Last but not the least, in Dubai, you've got to navigate the legal process, the paperwork. How do you do that? Ideally speaking, get an expert conveyancing company to do that for you, or your agent might have in-house conveyancing. What do the conveyancing people do? The conveyancers actually put the deals together and close them. The paperwork in Dubai is a little bit more extensive than what I might, in my experience, not in my experience, from what I've heard in other countries. And other countries, the paperwork's handled by solicitors. Here, it's handled by conveyancers who might have a lawyer on board, or your agent, or the agent might have a conveyancer in-house. Same thing with financing. My suggestion is use a mortgage consultant. You don't have to pay them anything, and they can help you find the best transaction, best deals, generally speaking. Okay, so use them. So here's the 3 things. Understand your budget and your options. Somewhere on our website, there's going to be a template that you can buy to run through a consultation for yourself. Do the right property, the right location, the right developer, the right quality, and then navigate the legal process. Okay? Bring everything home. Guys, remember to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. If you're looking to purchase a property in the Dubai market, you can click, there's a link somewhere here. You can click it, fill up a form, come and talk to us, or attend a free webinar. Understand what programs we run to help you. If you've got a question, you can ask us. If you think that there's other things you could add more value to, perhaps you're an investor yourself, put it in the comment section, show some love. There's other people who can learn from you as well. Ciao for now.